Check. Good to go. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this terrific town. It's a pleasure to welcome so many distinguished guests here this morning. Congressman Frank Pallone, who is no stranger to Woodbridge. He's here all the time. Was just here Sunday morning for our Italian Heritage Day celebration. Does a terrific job for us. Of course, the Assembly Speaker, one of my closest friends, so I talk to every single day, Craig Coughlin. I want to welcome Russo Development. Ed Russo is going to be speaking. He's no stranger to town. He's done a fantastic job with the Vermella project on Main Street across from Wegmans and Woodbridge Center. We're thrilled with that. I want to especially thank President Kevin Corbett of New Jersey Transit. We have had a wonderful relationship with him and NJT over the years. We have 3 train stations. The Avenel station, he committed to it early. We have a beautiful downtown development there. He promised he'd add stops if we did the development. We did. He did. It's wonderful. Just last week, we had a meeting on some issues in Woodbridge on our train station there, and I called up Chris Daly. I said, any chance you can have somebody call into the meeting? I know it's short notice. They didn't call into the meeting. They sent 4 people to the meeting, and that's the kind of commitment that New Jersey Transit showed to us. I have some elected officials I'd like to introduce. The Middlesex County Commissioner Director, Ronnie Rios. Commissioner Charlie Kenny from Woodbridge Township. We have Senator Pat Dignan from the 18th District. Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez from the 19th District right here. Nancy Pinkin, our Middlesex County Clerk. The young lady responsible for the township's involvement with this project. She's been in all the meetings and helping learn. We weren't a voting member of the block, but we were certainly briefed on everything and aware of everything and had input into everything. And that's Carolyn Ehrlich, our Chief of Staff and Head of Redevelopment. Her assistant on redevelopment is Heather LaMotta. And we have one councilman here, Greg Ficara. And now it gives me great pleasure, once again, as I've done many times in my career here, it's a great pleasure to always have the governor come to Woodbridge. He's here frequently. He was just here several months ago kicking off our Route 9 and Main Street project, where the state gave us a $12 million grant to improve that area for the development of Russo and other things. He frequently refers to me as his oldest friend in government since we go back to 2005 when I worked in Trenton and he was on a board that we were running and we got to know each other. Rather than oldest, I'd prefer, Governor, if you said the guy you've known the longest. Oldest is not it's not a good thing. But ladies and gentlemen, Governor Phil Murphy.
Has anyone heard that I've known John McCormick longer than I've known anyone else in politics? What a treat to be back. What a treat to be back. And we were commenting, pulling up here, it's one of those days where we actually could have thrown the tent out. It's, as they say, a day the Lord made. What a treat to be here. And John, always great to be in Woodbridge. And it is, there's that handful of communities that you can say this with conviction and evidence about, and Woodbridge is one of them. As it goes, the whole shooting match goes, the whole state goes. And I'd say that's true, Ronnie, for Middlesex County as well. So great to be here. I won't repeat the accolades that you bestowed and acknowledgments on everybody, but I do have to acknowledge my congressman is here, Frank Pallone. And that must be said, because even though we're in Middlesex County, I'm down in Monmouth County, and I'm happily in Frank's district and have been since the moment we moved into New Jersey 24 years ago. I also want to acknowledge my partner in government, the Speaker of the General Assembly, Craig Coughlin, and I just can't say enough. enough good things about Craig as a partner, and I think Senate President Nick Scuteri is not here today, but he's with us in spirit. I think the three of us have a really good thing going with our respective colleagues, Pat, Yvonne, and other members of the legislature. And Ron, it sort of, in many respects, begins, the moon rises and sets over Middlesex County in so many respects, and great to be with you as well. And I don't think Sam is here. Sam Joshi's not here, right? But it's important to acknowledge not only Woodbridge, but also Edison, right behind us here, are huge beneficiaries. Ed, how are you? Nice to see you. I didn't get to say hello to you earlier. If you had been sitting there 10 minutes ago, you would have been knocked out by that light which fell over. Just want to say your timing is impeccable. And so to each and every one of the distinguished folks here with us today, and certainly to the big presence of NJ Transit, to Kevin and his whole squad. I hope that was on tape, that Mayor McCormick's comments, because it won't get any better than that, Kevin. So listen, we all find ourselves, ironically, on this beautiful autumn morning standing on a inglorious and soulless commuter surface parking lot. And the good news is, the reason we're here is that's going to change. And it's going to change in a big, big way. And of course, even worse, it's a parking lot that's stuck in the middle of one of the busiest stretches of commuter rail in the entire country, and not just in New Jersey, or not just in the Northeast Corridor. And by the way, it's in the middle of one of New Jersey's core business and economic centers. And by the way, as I mentioned, it straddles really not one but two of the fastest growing communities in the state, Woodbridge and Edison, where new housing would be a game changer, and smart growth principles would have an outsized positive impact. And again, you couldn't have a better leadership in either town. So suffice it to say, we can do so much more here at Metropark, and today we're here to show how. Through an extraordinary partnership, by the way, not uncomplicated and not small. Hello, Ron, how are you? Nice to see you, Ron Simoncini. It's a partnership among NJ Transit, Amtrak, Middlesex County, Ron and Charlie, thank you for that, and Woodbridge and Edison. And now with the addition of the development team from DOR Woodbridge, today is the first step to the eventual construction of new housing and mixed-use buildings that will turn this parking lot into something far more beneficial to commuters, to businesses, and to the communities in and around here. And I want to acknowledge the DOR Woodbridge team right now. So we've got the Dinallo Construction Terminal Development leadership under Donald and Nicholas Dinallo. You guys, where are you? Please stand up and take a bow. Great job. We have Onyx Equities. I see John Schultz is with us. John, are you flying solo on behalf of Onyx Equities? Great to see you, man. And we will hear from him before we break today, Russo Development, which is represented in the front row by its CEO, Ed Russo. Ed, great to have you with us. Is Chris Minks here? Where's Chris? Chris, nice to see you as well. Great to have you guys. So when this station opened to a lot of fanfare, by the way, November 11, 1971, it was heralded as the first major station along Amtrak's budding Northeast Corridor service that was not located in a major city. So if you lived in Central Jersey, by the way, as I do, you could drive to Metropark instead of Newark or Trenton. And I have done it myself on literally countless occasions. The aim, as the New York Times put it then, was to, and I quote them, enable suburbanites in the area to travel the Northeast Corridor without having to contend with growing highway or air congestion. So over the 50-plus years since, however, the growth of the Metropark commercial district around this station has drawn even more cars into the area. The growth of Woodbridge and Edison on the periphery of Metropark has only added to the congestion that snarls these intersections. The simple fact is that even though this remains one of NJ Transit's, I believe, Kevin, busiest stations and a key stop, importantly for Amtrak, people no longer drive to Metropark just to catch a train. But that doesn't mean that we cannot reorient future development to restore the focus on the rails that in fact made Metropark. But we also cannot go back in time and erase what has been built. What we must do is modernize the original vision for Metropark, from a place where Central Jerseyans can drive their cars to a place where Central Jerseyans can ditch their cars altogether and live within walking distance of their job right here in the broader Metropark campus, or alternatively, hop on a train to go to work or to go to school. That puts livability and sustainability first, with new and affordable housing options well within reach. What we must do is make this a place where mixed-use buildings use the real estate to its maximum potential as a testament to smart planning and sustainability, instead of maintaining an uninspiring surface parking lot as a monument to sprawl. Of course, if the draw of this new Metropark is going to be the rails, then everyone who comes here, whether to live or to work or both, deserves a modern rail and connecting bus facilities as well. And this project will include numerous infrastructure improvements to the station, not just to the parking lots, etc. And all of those will be aimed at ensuring continued safe and convenient access to the system. The goal is simple in concept, and that is to improve the entire experience of Metropark, whether you live here, work here, commute to here. But make no mistake, we want to make this a place where people will want to live. What was built to be the quintessential suburban commuter park and ride must now be reimagined to be the quintessential example of smart, transit-oriented development. Metropark has grown to be a veritable city within the township. Our goal now, collectively, all of us, is to make it reflective of the diversity and the innovation that fuels Woodbridge, Edison, Middlesex County indeed, and indeed our entire state. And I think together, that partnership with NJ Transit, Amtrak, Middlesex County, Woodbridge, Edison, DOR, Woodbridge, all combined will lead in bringing forward this exciting new vision for Metropark. We don't get what we're able to do in New Jersey unless we have folks fighting tenaciously for us down the road in Washington. And there is no better fighter than the chairman. Please help me welcome my congressman, Congressman Frank Malone.
Thanks so much, Governor and Mayor McCormick and the Speaker and legislators and county officials. There were two things that I want to say. One is I love the Governor's emphasis on Central Jersey, because I use that term all the time to refer that we're in the central part of the state, the geographic center of the state, and of course Metropark, for that reason, is a great place for people to not only come to catch a train, but as the Governor said, to live and work and also to shop, hopefully, because...
Like a finely tuned Swiss watch we are.
Well, it missed me too, so that was good.
We could have used you on stage, by the way.
But I do like the chart. I do like the graphics because it really shows what this is going to look like. And I really do believe that. I think that it's true that this is a great place because it's geographically in the center, and there's so many transportation options to live and work and shop. And so this mixed-use development is great. Now I want to say about Mayor McCormick. His vision has always been to try to improve things and take advantage of what's here. And so I saw with the downtown, bringing all the new projects into the downtown and having more people there, and now the same thing here in Metropark, which benefits not only Woodbridge, but also Edison. But the main thing I wanted to say, Governor, is about getting things done. That's what you do, right? And I'm going to say Democrats get things done. Whether it's the state legislature, whether it's our local officials or the county, always cooperating to get things done. And a lot of times I think in politics, people say, well, what have you done today? Or what are you going to do for me tomorrow? And we can always point to the fact that we're actually doing things. You can point to it on a local level, as I mentioned, with Woodbridge. You can point to it on a county level with all the projects that the county does and the things they do with the Improvement Authority, but also innovation. The governor talked about innovation, which is how Middlesex County characterized itself, and really justifiably, because they're always looking to be creative and come up with new ideas for people to have a better quality of life. So I like to think that we're doing the same thing on the federal level in terms of getting things done too. What we've done with our bipartisan infrastructure bill, with our Inflation Reduction Act. It was interesting today because I read in the Wall Street Journal on my way over here that even with all the different things that we're doing at the federal level as well, the deficit actually went down significantly this year. So I think we can say as Democrats that not only are we getting things done, but we're actually making the cost of those things ultimately less as we take advantage of new ways of doing things. So I'm just glad to be here. I feel like I'm kind of a cheerleader, Governor and Mayor, but I'm always glad to participate in these types of things where you're accomplishing so much. Thanks again.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're bolstering our efforts up here. Very impressive. Thank you, everybody. Frank, thank you for everything you do. I don't know where we'd be without you. I mentioned him earlier as an extraordinary partner in leadership in this state. Please help me welcome the Speaker of the General Assembly, Middlesex County's own, Craig Coughlin.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Another day, something good happening in New Jersey, in Woodbridge, in Edison, and in Central Jersey. It is a remarkable time. Although I don't know about you guys, I like the parking lot. I don't know. I think I'm going to miss the stripes. The truth be told, this is another exciting day, and it is part of the kind of commitment that the governor has made and New Jersey Transit has made. Governor, it's always nice to have you here in Middlesex, especially in my hometown. It's great to be with you. We were in New Brunswick not so long ago talking about the renovations to the New Brunswick train station. There's commitment to North Brunswick and the train station there. The Portal Bridge is on its way to being fixed, and that's owing to the commitment of the governor, commitment of the vision of New Jersey Transit to get the rails up and running, because we know how important they are to the future, how important they are for environmental purposes. And a project like this, timber. All right. Frank Pallone would probably blame Republicans for this. But But a project like this is exciting, and let me congratulate one of my oldest and dearest friends, and I say oldest because we are getting old, John McCormick, who I have known and had the privilege of being friends with and watch up close and personal for, oh God, it's measured in decades now, and the work that he and his team, extraordinary team in Woodbridge, have done in reinvigorating the community and building with a great vision their future. And I'm as excited as can be to watch Mayor Joshi, who is just a terrific leader in the work that he's going to do in Edison. And when it comes together, something like this comes together, it's exciting. It's exciting because it brings jobs to the people who are going to construct it. It's exciting because it offers new and exciting opportunities for people to come and live and to be part of two extraordinary communities, because they're really going to be part of each of those communities. And it speaks to a vision for the future that recognizes that when we do some things that are special, people will come and live there. So this doesn't happen without the coordination of terrific people who are committed to doing that. New Jersey Transit, the governor, the legislature for sure, but the people in Middlesex County and the people at the federal level. This is government at its best, coming together to do something big and bold that will benefit not just the people who live here, but each of the communities that surround it and the people of New Jersey as well. And so to each of you, congratulations on your hard work. Congratulations for your vision and for your talent in coming up with something that's truly going to be impactful. And I guess I'll get used to missing the lines in the parking lot. But the truth of the matter is there will be something extraordinary here. And I'm looking forward to that in the days to come. And the next stop on the whistle stop as we go up and down central New Jersey and working on projects that make that better. So thanks, everybody, for coming out. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
You want to know how powerful Craig Coughlin is? He arranged for those 2 trains to go by during his remarks. Craig, thank you, man, for everything, including today, but for so much of what you do. John McCormick gave Kevin Corbett an introduction that was second to none. So there's not much more I can say. Please help me welcome the guy who, with his team, is turning around NJ Transit and returning it. If we don't do this, it'll kill us. And so far, it hasn't. To being the premier public transportation system in America. CEO, President Kevin Corbett.
Thank you, Governor, and we'll still have to work on making sure we get the supports right in the bags. We'll take care of that later. And thank you, Speaker Coughlin, for making sure the trains were there and clean. But seriously, a lot of shout-outs to a lot of people looking around the tent here who are so involved with the project. But Mayor, thanks for your kind words. But you and your team working with transit, you touched on it, but we've gotten so much done. And this is really one of the capstones of what we've done. But every day working the relationship really is hopefully making a big difference for Woodbridge and all the stations and, of course, our bus services as well. Congressman, thanks so much. We would be in a world of pain if it wasn't for what you and your colleagues got us, through the various fundings, CARES, Carissa funding, to be in a position where we could deliver service even right through the pandemic. Can't thank you enough for that. Speaker Coughlin, and certainly another great advocate for transit, Senator Deignan, Assemblywoman Lopez. This is another event with you. Is great as always. So a couple of, and don't want to take too much time with the shout-outs, but also want to acknowledge we have Sangeeta Doshi, Cedric Fulton, who are board members. We get great support from our board. Diane Scachetti couldn't be here today, as our chair. And then also on labor side, we have Jerome Johnson here, and it's not an event without Jerome. And is really, we talk about progressive labor, really even helping out beyond New Jersey on a national level to really help President Biden implement the transportation agenda, particularly along the Northeast corridor here. So a really strong team. And for today, certainly for Ed Russo, talk in a minute, but the team that puts out getting to this point, and we were talking earlier, Ed, about there are developers who will, take a long time to get somewhere, and there are those that are focused on putting a team together that can close the deal. And this has been a great relationship. So very excited about this project. The governor touched on it, as some may remember, transit-oriented development. And I must say, with my previous private sector job when I'd park here, I'd be like, how can there not be a development here? With all this parking lot right next to a train. And when I came in, the governor said, well, you fix that. And you look at transit-oriented development for all the good reasons. Environment, community, sustainable development, everything the governor mentioned. This is a classic example of what we can do on that regard. Aside from the economic benefits that we'll be recognizing both for Middlesex, for Woodbridge, also for New Jersey Transit, you really see the difference that's going to make for mobility throughout the state, and really to the governor's point of being the best in nation transit system, which is what the governor wants, and we're focused on delivering. So transit-oriented development, we just took the train down from Newark. You look at every station. New Jersey Transit's working quite a few development projects on properties we own or have a role in, but also the role of transit in facilitating all the development that, in a lot of places, Orange, whatever, that, aren't our properties, but we play a key role in working with the developers to make sure we realize that vision. So, really this governor, your focus and direction together with Joe Kelly, bird dogging has really helped us advance a number of projects. And although granted it's not in Middlesex, would like to also point out just last week, one of our biggest TOD events in our history was at Hoboken, and that was part of the governor committing $814 million. You can't go to contract unless you have money, and developer, anybody in construction knows that. And that allows us now to include the Hoboken terminal, that whole project. That's going to be going ahead, the same TOD, mixed use, with significant housing, including like here, 20% affordable housing. And those funds give us the ability and credibility to go out to market and make sure that these deals can actually go ahead. So Governor, cannot thank you enough on that, because we now, I think, mentioned last week, some of you may have heard it, but when we stopped and took a breath and realized the number of station projects in our 5-year capital plan, that, we came out with the governor's direction under our 10-year strategic plan that we never had those before. We also just took a pause and realized we have 20 stations now, either in final design or under construction right now, and realizing that's more stations that are being done in New Jersey since the railroads built in the 1800s, built the original railroads here. So, Governor, that's one thing I've learned with Governor Murphy is that when he tells you to do something, you do it. He doesn't have to ask you twice. I want to make sure it stays that way, Governor. The last thing I would say though for the mayor, also want to give a quick shout out though to your team, particularly Caroline and Caroline Ehrlich and Marta Darden. Worked with Bill Vaquera and Sean Massey from our team, and really they're the people who got it done. So they deserve a shout out too. So thanks so much.
I want to underscore a couple of quick points. Carol, when I'm in Woodbridge, I do what you tell me to do, so good to be here. Where's Jerome? I lost him. Jerome Johnson, I just want to reiterate, labor generally and Jerome specifically and your brothers and sisters and the teamwork that you and the leadership you provide is second to none. Thirdly, God bless our veterans. I meant to say that up front because that man, Mr. Corbett, is a veteran of the United States Navy. And God bless them all. And then lastly, you touched on this. This is certainly a Central Jersey phenomenon. Craig mentioned New Brunswick, North Brunswick here in Woodbridge at Metropark. But you could go way up north to Hoboken. That's an incredible transformation. Or you can go all the way to Camden and see what we're going to do with the Walter Rand Transportation Center there. Among the other, that leaves, I think, 15 other stations. Newark Penn Station, by the way, high on that list of getting completely renovated and reimagined and brought back to its prior glory. When I sell New Jersey, when I'm overseas, when I'm on the phone with a CEO, whatever it might be, the first two words out of my mouth are talent and location. And again, we wouldn't be here without Craig and the Senate President sharing that vision. In other words, forget whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a proud Democrat. If you're New Jersey, back the truck up and do everything you can to underpin and invest in both talent and location. And historically, as a state, when we've done that, we've done really well. And I can guarantee you it's highly correlated, inversely correlated to when we haven't done well, it's we took our eye off the ball and we didn't invest in talent. We didn't invest in location. And I'll leave talent for another day, but when you talk about location, it is roads, bridges, rails, tunnels, mixed use, transit-oriented development. It's all sorts of other stuff like offshore wind as well. But play the hand that God dealt us. That to me is, when we do that, we are at our best. And today's a great example of that. So I wanted to get that rant off my chest. Last but not least, representing the DOR Woodbridge Consortium, which is going to be an extraordinary, each player is powerful. It's going to be a 1 + 1 + 1 = 10 partnership. Please help me welcome Ed Russo, CEO of Russo Development.
You're right, Governor. I almost got plunked twice today, so the second one was a close call.
How's our insurance?
I want to start out first by, on behalf of our partnership with the Danello family and our good friends at Onyx Equities, thanking Woodbridge and New Jersey Transit for selecting our redevelopment proposal for this site. We recognize that this is a unique opportunity to build a transformative project, and there are many very capable developers, many capable development teams that submitted proposals for this project, and we feel very fortunate to be selected, and we feel committed to delivering a project here that not only the stakeholders in this tent can be proud of, but everyone in the community that would either live or work here or that commute through Metropark can look at and be proud of once it's realized. So first and foremost, thank you for that. I do want to give special thanks to Mayor McCormick. Governor Murphy touched on this before, but there are few, if any, communities and mayors in New Jersey that are better to work with than Woodbridge and Mayor McCormick. And I can say, I can say from firsthand experience, Mayor McCormick's no pushover. But he's smart and he's reasonable, and he gets things done, and that permeates through the entire Woodbridge team. And from a development company that's been blessed to work in a number of different communities throughout the state, that's all we could ask for. So we've had an amazing experience working with Woodbridge. This would be our second project in town, and we're very excited about it. And a large reason for that is because of how we've been treated by Mayor McCormick and the Woodbridge Township team. So thank you for that. I also want to acknowledge, in particular, the Dinello family. If I'm not mistaken, Donald, a couple of the parking structures that are here were actually built by Terminal Construction. So Donald's company is intimately familiar with this site, has had the opportunity to build several and renovate several of the most notable transit stations in our state. The Frank Lautenberg Secaucus Junction station is a good example, but others in Ridgewood and other communities. There's no better general contractor in New Jersey than Terminal Construction, and the reason for that is the effort that Donald Dinello and his family personally put into their company every day, and we feel very excited and blessed to have them as part of our joint venture on this project. We have a similar relationship with John Schultz and John Saraceno from Onyx. When you travel all the transit lines in New Jersey, right, whether it's the Raritan Valley line or the Morris-Essex line or the Northeast Corridor line, right, you're seeing lots of redevelopment, but most of it's housing. And, you know, I'll be the first to admit several of those projects that are being built in communities like Newark, and you heard Kevin Corbett mention Orange, places like Union Township, Waldwick, Garwood, are places where our company is building, and we're building primarily housing. But this site is very different. We recognize this is a special location. There's a very vibrant office market here, as you can see by the surrounding buildings, and there's no better office developer in the state of New Jersey than Onyx Equities. And we collectively as a team are very committed to creating a true mixed-use environment here, not just a housing development, but something that has office and retail and station improvements that make this really a case study for transit-oriented development. So that would not be possible without John and John Saraceno, and we want to thank them for their commitment to this team. And I just want to close by saying we know there's a lot of work to be done from here moving forward. We're very excited to be included in today's event, and we look forward, Mayor McCormick and Sean Massey, the rest of the transit team, to getting to work and to make sure that the beautiful design that our team has been able to put together is realized, and that we get shovels in the ground here as quickly as possible so that the community can enjoy a much different experience and a very transformative experience at one of our very unique transit sites in New Jersey. So thank you very much.
Ed, that was awesome. And again, I'd echo my shout out to the Dinello family and to Onyx. And I know Onyx firsthand because I'm one of their tenants in Newark. And obviously, Ed, you and your family and your company is renowned as well. So we couldn't have a better team. And I think Craig would want me to say, which both of us wanted to say earlier, this is a highly competitive, you guys just didn't get handed this thing. A lot of people wanted to be a part of this. So that's a testament to the winning consortium on the one hand. It's also a testament that folks want to do business right now in New Jersey. They want to develop. They want to, especially I think mixed use. This will open up with what, 225 units? About that, and about 250 or 60,000 office, retail, other mixed space. This is going to be, it'll take a few years, just like Hoboken and just like New Brunswick and North Brunswick and Camden and Newark, but you roll the clock forward, you will not recognize this place. This is to say this is transformative is the understatement of the day. So as they say in Hollywood, it's a wrap. I want to thank Mayor McCormick, our Middlesex County led by Ron, the speaker and his colleagues, Frank, my congressman, bless you, man. Kevin, to you and your teammates at NJ Transit, to the DOR, Woodbridge crowd, Ed spoke on your behalf. To everybody here today, this is a team sport. It's a great day for Woodbridge. It's a great day for Metropark. It's a great day for Central Jersey. It's a great day for Jersey. Thank you all.